Mike Arnstein here from the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and you're watching Fruit Living on YouTube.
Fruitarian, living lifestyle. Learn about the benefits and start now. Eating from the vine and feeling divine. Fruit living with nature's design.
Hey Ted, I agree that fruit is the best food for humans. Of course it is. And I wanted a high fruit 80-10-10 diet to work for me as an athlete. I'm also a triathlete, but I was struggling badly to maintain muscle and perform during high intensity workouts on a mostly fruit diet. Once I upped the fats and protein, plant-based only, no animal products, I started feeling stronger and was able to race faster and perform in speed workouts again. I'm almost certain I was eating enough on 80-10-10, but it just wasn't happening for me. Any advice or information would be appreciated. So for me personally, I can speak for me personally, and I can speak on everyone actually, and say that glucose is the #1 preferred source of fuel. If you're not getting enough glucose, you're done. If you just try and live on straight up protein powder, you're done. If you try and straight up live on just oil, just fat, you're done. But you can actually live on straight up water and sugar for quite a long time. I'm not saying you should, but you can. So glucose is the #1 preferred source of fuel for the body. Every cell in your body runs on sugar, sugar, sugar.
You like sugar, 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 sugar.
Sugar, sugar, sugar. It's the way to go, no doubt. Having said that, when you're just getting into this diet, you want a variety of foods for sure. And it doesn't mean you can just go on a variety of low-fat, high-sugar fruits and you're gonna be all good initially. Initially, man, people that go through all sorts of detox symptoms and they go through all sorts of health challenges and overcoming addictions and withdrawal symptoms and things like that. So when you're eating low-fat, like the bananas and the papayas and the oranges and things like that, you're gonna be going through a lot of detox and it's gonna look like you're losing muscle, but you're not gonna be losing muscle, man. The food you eat doesn't put on muscle. The food you eat does not put on muscle. The food you eat does not decrease your muscle. You gotta go to the gym, you gotta work out, you gotta do some squats, you gotta challenge your muscles, you gotta run up hills, you gotta bike hard at low RPM. You gotta challenge your muscles if you want them to grow. The food you eat is not gonna make your muscles grow. The food you eat will allow your muscles to grow, but only if you challenge them first. So let's get that clear. Eating a fruit diet won't decrease your muscle mass. It'll maybe make your muscles look smaller, but you can still maintain that strength as long as you're maintaining that weight. So if you're losing too much weight, then yeah, you're gonna lose some strength because weight and strength, they go together, weight-strength ratio.
I'm on day 55 of a mono-orange juice diet, and so I just thought I'd do a little bit of a YouTube vid. I still feel as strong and as energetic as when I'm on a normal mixed fruit diet.
So keep that in mind. But the second thing is, go through phases. Don't just think I'm going to be high carb 80-10-10 throughout the whole year. Allow yourself some periods where you're like 95-5, no overt fats for many, many months on end, and other periods where you're 80-10-10, other periods where you're pretty much high fat. You're eating a lot of avocados and coconut meat and durian for a few months of the year as well. No problem. Just notice how that affects your training. So if you try and force your diet or try and think too much about your diet and say like, I'm gonna just do 80-10-10, I can't have too much fat, can't have too much fat, can't have too much fat. Meanwhile, your body's like craving the avocados. Of course you're not gonna be able to perform well because you're not listening to your body. It's like saying, oh, I'm really, really tired, but I'm not gonna sleep because I need to do this 80-10-10 program. And on an 80-10-10, they say only sleep for 8 hours a day, you know, but I'm not saying it said that, but imagine if there's a program that said only sleep for 8 hours a day. And you're like, oh, I really need to sleep, but I'm only getting 8 hours a day. Man, your body's saying sleep, sleep. Get 10-12 hours of sleep if you need. So on 80-10-10, the actual diet, he says get as much sleep as you care for, of course. And he says eat as much fruit as you care for. And he says get minimum 80% of your calories from carbohydrates and maximum 10% from fat, maximum 10% from protein. Now, I don't think Doug, the person who wrote the book, the author of the book, 80-10-10, I don't think he meant to say no matter what, maximum 10%, don't listen to your body, and if it wants more fat, don't do it. I don't think Doug would say that. I think if Doug would say, you know what, listen to your body, if it really wants some extra avocados, get 15% of your calories from fat or even 20% of your calories from fat the odd week or the odd month of the year, go for it, man. Just listen to your body. So personally, I perform pretty well on a higher fat diet than some people would believe. I was eating lots of avocados, coconut meats, and durian and still performing quite well for many months. I hit all of my PBs on a high fat fruitarian diet, I'll tell you that much. I'm at a point now where I've just recently swum my fastest 1,000-meter swim, my fastest 1,500-meter swim. I ran my fastest 5K, and I've biked my fastest time around the velodrome for a half-hour time trial. And even my fastest Oyster Tep time up this half-hour hill. They were all on a higher fat diet, meaning 15 to 20% of my calories from fat, a lot of coconut meat, a lot of avocados. Yeah, a lot of bananas too. It's mostly carbohydrates still, but I didn't hold back on the fat. I ate as much as I cared for. Now, I'm at a time where I have my last race of the year in 3 weeks, so I'm going to do an overt-free, well, for the most part overt-free, still a small amount of coconut meat, but no avocados, no more durian from this day on, and I'm gonna see if I lean out anymore. So here I am thinking about it. I'm gonna say, hey, I know this, it's worked in the past where I just did no fat and I got super skinny, and that's what I want to have happen for this last race of the year. But as soon as that last race is finished, if I feel like going back to eating fat, I'm gonna go back and eat fat. And even leading up to this race, if I can't handle the low fat thing, I'm gonna go back and eat some higher fat. No issues, man, no issues. You've got to be like that. You've got to listen to your body, because it's really all about, because as an athlete, it's all about, can you recover and can you put out intensity the next day? If you're not being able to put out the same intensity the next day, you're not recovered. It's that simple. But all this stuff, oh, I've lost muscle on a fruit diet. No, you haven't lost muscle, unless maybe you lost some strength because you lost some weight, but your muscles are just gonna look smaller. But I can do more pull-ups than most people, you know, with bigger muscles. I can squat faster. I can do 100 squats faster than almost anyone in the world, and my legs aren't that big, man. My legs are puny. I can run, you know, I'm in the top, definitely the top 5% in the world for a fastest 5K, and my muscles are puny, man. You don't need big muscles to go fast. You really don't. Look at the top marathon runners in the world. They're skin and bone, and they can run a 400 meter in like sub 55 seconds, just smoking fast. So yeah, you can make 80-10-10 work, but just don't be so stuck and rigid with those numbers. You know, so I know some people use Chronometer all the time. It's awesome to use Chronometer, but don't let Chronometer dictate what you're gonna eat. Let Chronometer allow you to realize what you've been eating and maybe make some plans for what you want to eat, but don't get so stuck and say, I need to eat 80-10-10 365 days a year. It's not listening to your body. You've got to remember, you've got to train yourself to start listening to your body again. But I only say listen to your body, really, this listen to your body advice really is only, when it comes to diet, is only for the raw vegans. If you're eating cooked food, I honestly have had bad experience listening to my body on cooked food because the addictions take over, and it's like, well, I don't want to eat too much rice tonight, but then I just go binge on rice and I feel like crap, man. Because it's like, oh, well, I just felt like eating rice. Well, it's the addiction talking. When it comes to fruit, it's like, man, it's like, I want some coconut meat, I'm gonna have some coconut meat. I want an avocado, I'm gonna have an avocado. I just want to do bananas all day, I'll just do bananas. I just want to drink coconut water all day, I'm gonna drink coconut water all day. So be very in tune with your body, and yeah, and when it comes to fitness too, you know, it's not all diet. Diet is not the only thing. Diet would be the second most important thing of the 5 pillars, the 5 elements. The first element is recovery. Focus on recovery for sure, and then you'll be able to eat properly. Once you eat properly and you're getting a good amount of rest, then you can start training consistently. Once you've been training consistently for a long period of time, then it's time to start getting really specific, like with your swim, bike, run workouts, and then it's time to add the intensity at the end. So you're talking about intensity here. I hope you've been training consistently long term. I hope you're getting really specific about your workouts, and I definitely hope you're getting enough sleep, and then maybe look back on nutrition. Go back to the drawing board and look at nutrition then, and see if you can make any tweaks, or if you need to make any tweaks. But definitely, man, end of the day, listen to your body. Okay, 10 coconuts, 2 racks of bananas, bunch of racks of bananas, 8 coconuts there, more bananas, some watermelon, cucumbers, bananas, those are gonna get eaten today, those are really good. More watermelon, 2 watermelon here, more coconuts, and more bananas. That's how you stock up. I'm gonna go for a run. Peace.
You like sugar, 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 sugar.